Well, good day, everybody. Today I'm flying from Denver to Lake County, actually Leadville, which is the highest airport in the United States. Runway's around 9,000 something feet. And today I'm going to cruise at 17.5 and going to the approach is a RNAV GPS type approach to runway 16 at Leadville. It's LPV, meaning Localizer with vertical performance approach. The flight plan that I originally set was for departure on runway 25, which was an active runway yesterday when I made the flight plan, which required a certain, I selected a certain departure procedure, standard instrument departure procedure, which lined up pretty well with the way I was going. But when I got here, quote here, and asked for runway taxiing to depart to the west, they gave me runway 8. I'm going to have to follow these blue taxi ribbons out here, which are just artifacts of the sim. Well, it's all artifacts of the sim, because I can't find my way around this airport. So I'm just going to follow it. I don't know how long it's going to take to get to the runway. When we get there, I'll talk about the plane. Takes care of some other business like setting the de-icing and all that stuff, and flaps, etc., etc., etc. So I'm going to release the parking brake now and just head over there and get to the runway. I'll talk to you then. Well, as you can see here, we're over a mile from runway 8, so okay, well, we seem to be at a runway, and there's actually somebody sitting there. Matt's in 12. He's sitting on the runway. I don't know if air traffic control is aware of him or not. Anyway, I'm going to take care of some business. He's safe. So, first thing I'm going to do is turn on all the de-icing. Everything I can. Okay. Just in case. Although it's pretty warm here, 57 degrees. I don't know what we're going to get once we get to altitude. I think I'm going to dial back the cruise to 16,000. That's plenty. My favorite, Beech Baron. Twin engine. I'm very comfortable with it. While I'm sitting here, I'll lower the flaps one notch. Sometimes I forget. So we're here in Denver, and we're going to fly, it's about 90 miles or something. We get out here, we're going to do this little loop and then land on runway 16. That is the only, it might not really be the active runway in terms of which way the wind's blowing. I didn't check, but it is it's the only direction you can land there and have anything comparable to an instrument approach. I said this is we're flying this out of the way, an RNAV approach with vertical guidance. Something weird was going on there, and I had to do some fiddling around with the flight plan. Anyway, I don't know if we're really going to do this loop or we're just going to go right in. I didn't like what was happening over here, so I made a change. This runway doesn't link up with the departure procedure. I'm going to have to do some maneuvering around on my own to get there. So who knows, anything could happen. The tower. And take off.
Denver Tower, Beechcraft, Kilo Yankee India Victor, ready for west departure at runway 8.
Beechcraft, Kilo Yankee India Victor, altimeter tree 0.13 with 102 at 15. Departure to the west approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 8.
Release the brake and let's go.
Beechcraft Yankee India Victor, please acknowledge.
Cleared for takeoff runway 8, Beechcraft Yankee India Victor.
I've only got so many hands here. Okay, well, we're really going to take off the opposite direction of where I want to go, so I just have to turn around and after we take off and get back on course. Here goes.
Yankee India Victor, continue for west departure.
At this point, we're headed pretty much east, 92 degrees. We're headed to Chicago right now. Not the way I want to go. So I'm going to turn around, go left.
Beechcraft Yankee India Victor, leaving light airspace, frequency change approved.
Get a nice view of the airport.
India Victor, did you hear my last?
Yeah. That's nice.
Denver Tower, Beechcraft, Kilo Yankee India Victor, frequency change.
I'm going to cross over the airport. And as I get on course, I'll go to the autopilot.
Denver approach, Beechcraft, Kilo Yankee India Victor, is type Beechcraft B58-3.
So I'm waiting for the, here they go. I'm going to turn on the AP right now. And we're turning. Now I'm going to select, where the heck is it? It's hard to read this. I want flight level change down here. And the plane's going to climb to 16,000 feet. So that's it. Don't have much to do now until I get to Leadville and our approach. Landing is the most interesting part of the sim, I imagine, any flight, especially if you're on autopilot a lot. And once you're on autopilot, you're just a tourist, so that's the approach. I just decided to come in at 16,000, which is where I have to be at this waypoint for the vertical VNAV to work. And you can see what happens is it'll take you down to 13, and then I'm hoping it'll actually take me the rest of the way to the runway. And the runway elevation there is 9,934 feet, so 9,900 feet and change. It's pretty darn high. We'll look at that later. And we are now crossing over Denver, and we are coming up on 13,000 feet, so it'll be at cruise altitude pretty soon. So it's a nice day here in Colorado. One of my daughters lives up in that direction, Fort Collins. Well, it was 57 degrees at the airport, but up here at coming up on 14,000 feet, it's 18 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is -8 Celsius. If we ran into any clouds at this point, there would be a danger of icing, and this clear weather is not really much of an issue, but I've got it on anyway, de-icing. Leadville, where we're headed, I think is by its name a former mining town. I'd have to look that up, but that makes sense. There's another. I think the road down there is I-70. Comes out of Denver and climbs into the mountains, and takes you to a lot of nice skiing. See, it's a pretty comfortable little plane. Take 6 passengers, 6 people, including the pilot, or a pilot and car. We have a pilot and 5 civilians, or a pilot and a co-pilot, 4 civilians. So we're across the foothills now and heading into the Rockies. And our next waypoint is 5 miles. We seem to be having trouble climbing to our altitude. I don't know what's going on. I want to be at 16 and we're hardly going there. I've got it on full power. I think we've got some downdrafts. So this is live weather for sure. As live as it gets in this sim. Wow, getting bounced around a lot. Okay, flight level change was not doing the job, and so I've dialed in the vertical speed manually. And I decided to go to 17.5 right now. We're going to get to Leadville a lot faster than I thought. Okay, the runway is 9,934 feet. I've set the minimum altitude restraint here to 10.5, and I'm gonna arm VNAV. So I just did that, and that's the what they call a VPAT that's white. So when we get to Davie, it should start descending to 13,000 feet and should keep descending past that. Meanwhile, we're passing some ski areas. I'm thinking that's Breckenridge. I can't be absolutely sure. Unless it's Copper Mountain. I used to know the layout of these ski areas, but I couldn't tell you anymore. Well, we're 5 miles from Funds, and then I'm going to have to start slowing down because I really don't want things to happen too fast here. I wanted to do this loop here, but when I put it in, I couldn't scroll all the way through the flight plans, so I took it out. So we're coming up on Funds, 1.2 miles.
125.905 United 1934.
When we get to Davie, we should start descending. We've got to come down 4,500 feet in 9 miles. So I don't want to go too fast. Otherwise I'll eat up those 9 miles before I get to the assigned altitude in the flight plan. And I have to watch the airspeed so that I don't stall. There's a ski area. What's that? I don't think it's Breckenridge or any. I really don't know what that one is. I would need maps, ski maps, trail maps. They mark a lot of points of interest in this sim, but they don't tell you what the ski areas are, which I think is a deficiency. Serious omission. So, TOD up here, top of descent. That would be, well, not sure what that would be. Top of descent, that's the beginning of a descent. Doesn't mean that it's very confusing. It means that's the beginning. Whoops. The airspeed was really slipping there. I think we must be in a pretty good headwind because I need full power to avoid stalling. When the indicated airspeed gets too low, you're really talking about the speed of the air over the airfoils, which are the wings. And if that drops, you're going to lose your lift and stall. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, top of descent right here means this is where we should start dropping to down to 13,000 feet, and we are. See, this is going green. We're now on the V path, VPTH. That would be equivalent to a glide path in an ILS approach. And we're really getting bounced around. I hope we don't have serious crosswinds at Leadville. And now I have to slow down because I've got 7 miles to go to skid, and I've got to be at 13,000 feet by then if I want the plane to keep going to the runway. And I would bet that's it up there. In case you haven't watched this before, my funny hat, this thing up here is a Trek IR hat clip, and it reflects, there it is ahead, we're 13 miles out about. It reflects infrared light that's coming from a camera at the top of my monitor, and it's a 3-point clip, one on each side, one at the top, and so the monitor tracks my head movements, and it's infrared light, and that's why it's Trek IR. Well, it's ahead by 8 miles, and this is where we should continue down. Okay, I'm going to have to do this the hard way. Past the final approach fix, and we're not descending. So, I'm coming off the autopilot and trimming down. And I'm going to use the GPS to stay on course, because that wasn't working very well. And I'm going to keep the runway about where it is on my windscreen to judge the angle of descent. And I'm going to have to put in some flaps. I drop some speed first. Raise the nose. Trim down flaps. 1 notch. And I've lost the runway for a moment. Flaps, gear. Well, it didn't really bring me to the runway. I was hoping it would. It's sort of a hybrid VNAV, air RNAV approach with vertical. And got to throttle up before I stall. Full flaps. They barely plowed the runway here. Oh, there's a truck. Great. Wow.
Maintain 14,000 feet, generic 8 Mike Victor.
Ooh.
Mike Victor climb and maintain 13,000 feet.
Is there a terminal here? Well, that was exciting. So, I'm not sure where I'm going. I don't see a building way back there. I think I have to turn around. So, anyway, I'm going to somehow get turned around and I guess I have to taxi back up the runway. Okay, I'm going to taxi back to whatever passes for a terminal building here, having turned around on the runway as there don't seem to be any taxiways on either side, so I see a building down there, and that's where I'm going to go. Well, like Telluride, this is a narrow runway, and it's a pretty challenging target when you're trying to land, and you have to stay centered and keep the runway in proper perspective so you're not going too steep or too shallow to get there. Something I've learned to do. Go that way. And there's nobody here but us chickens, folks. There is gas, though. I'll stop by the gas pump. Folks, shut it down, and it was a pretty good flight. I don't know why it's kind of cockeyed in the cockpit. Weird. Yeah, how much of a slope. Anyway, I'm gonna just leave you with the traditional air traffic control farewell, which is good day.